One of the most worst moments in your life that you have ever had was at that point when you always forget about the tank crew. For Deutschland! As the sound of that, you couldn't tell if they were shooting you with 9mm of a tank or just a normal cartridge of a Luger. Because your armor is strong enough to handle tank shells. You soon turn around, grabbing a pistol that you had tied to your waist, shooting the gun, which you soon figured out was just a Luger out of what you could presume to be the Tiger 1's radio manager. Soon disarming him, taking a closer look at his skin, you could instantly tell that he was not German. Probably a mixture of German, but not full-blood German, like the few soldiers around him that you had to kill. Any more in there? He just looks puzzled at you. I will not repeat myself again. Is there any more in there? He starts staring at you, saying, 9. What the bloody hell are you saying? There's 10 more of us in here. Shush. I don't like liars. So get the hell out of the tank before I shoot you. Or put a bullet right between your head. Either one makes me happy. Seeing the three that were in front of you after they got out of the Tiger 1 was kind of astonishing. Even one of them being... Well, you stop at looking at one of them. He wears an iron chest plate, what you could presume is iron, but not making sure, because you need to test it by shooting a bullet at it. The other one just looks like a soldier that was forced to be sent into the German army, most likely from Britain. Hearing Twilight complain, saying why would I even and shoot at them. He didn't give a care what she was saying right now. You were an Inquisitor. If you were given a mission, you need to accomplish that mission with no interruptions and failures. And your mission was to revive the Terran Empire. Why you keep on thinking of the predecessor before the Infirmity's empire? You just shake that out of your head. Not getting a response from one of the others. You soon point your gun at the one wearing the chest plate. He soon gained the idea of walking forward, then saluting you, giving his name. I am Alexander of the 5th Panzer Group. Reloader for the Panzer 5th. He raised an eyebrow. Alexander? Almost sounds like a cousin of yours. But you know one of your cousins does not have an eyebrow. Well, that goes like he's about... I always say this. Oh, now I know what. He doesn't have eyebrows that makes him look like one of those clone troopers from the Clone Wars animated series, which you loved so much when you were a child. Sad to see that the final season was never released because of one particular company, which you're not gonna say. Alexander, I presume that you are not a true German. You were probably born in this dimension. He just looks at you, dumbfounded. Before he can respond to it comply to what you just said, you stop him. This doesn't mean you're German. I'm just saying is that your ancestors came from this dimension. Seeing that you have a plate of one of the great Mandalorian knights. My only reason I can say this is right now. As soon as you did that, you pulled out your Luger, firing a blaster bolt right at him, without a single dent in it. The blaster bolt went right back at you, hitting your chest armor, not doing nothing to it, as the same as it did to Alexander. You smiled at that, seeing that you were not the only infirmities left. If you were, well, there would have to be some mixed inbreeding with other species, which you are not kindly of doing right now. The Ponyville's about to turn into a war zone. Twilight, he raised an eyebrow at what you just said. How can you even know the name of the town if we didn't even tell him? You look back at this so-called Inquisitor, making you blush earlier. You wonder if he could actually be a human, not knowing because he has a helmet on top of his head. Seeing how he was able to disarm one and was just a simple shot of what she could presume was a weapon. She could not detect any magic in the weapon, or the projectile that it fired. This was making her mind curious as to how this species even runs without magic. You look back at the Inquisitor. He looks at you. You're probably wondering how we use magic. What he said just stunned you. Well, we do have magic. It's just we decide not to use it, and preferring weapons. Like my Luger, modified to shoot. I don't know which caliber of blaster, but it's very high if it can bounce off one person to another. But we are depicted as many magic users, able to use all 6 auras of magic, which I am not going to explain at all, because I cannot think of them at the top of my head. you said to Twilight. Besides, we need to get these ponies armed up and ready to fight the oncoming Germans. Most likely, they were here to kill you. Which I've already said, so don't go saying that. I already said that twice. Only calling her by her nickname is not the wisest idea for you. Also, seeing a rainbow color coming right at you was not a good sign for you either, which you just dodged aside, laying it in pale Alexander. Funny how the creatures of this world can just think they can tackle you just like that, which they cannot. If they did, they will probably be hearing another story, besides you having to let out a little bit of rage. Looking at the crowd of ponies, and not noticing that a blue pony was about to walk up and knock you upside the head, would be not good for you, since you are able to detect any species coming near you, thanks to your helmet. When she got one footstep away from hitting you upside the head, you turn around to grab the MP40 that she was holding. Not very nice to do to someone that's an emperor. I would presume that your name is Rainbow Dash? How did you know my name was Rainbow Dash? Like I said before, when I have missions, I am able to be given the names of those missions. And one of the missions was to keep the elements of harmony alive. And this mission would be uniting the Empire once more, with its backbone, the ponies, being under the Imperial flag once more. No one shall fear the Emperor. That is myself. And I do not like my subjects wanting to hit me over the head. You know what? I shouldn't even say subjects. I should say citizens hitting me over the head. I am not that downgrading to say that my people are just subjects to me, not equal to me. Which your princess, Celestia, failed to do. I have no regards to your monarchy's ways, only that they are about to be invaded by an enemy far worse than any of you have ever faced, bringing bloodshed and death to this world, which I am here to stop. Seeing that this was a small German brigade, at most I could say, this is a full planetary invasion of them. There's probably millions of them all over the planet by now, having their Luftwaffes in the air, the Panzers rolling on the ground, and their navy blocking any trade from other countries. Simple of a way of the Germans. This will only mean they're going to go for Princess Celestia and Luna next. Then Princess Cadence and her daughter Fairyheart. looking at the cyanide, a blue pony in front of you, which you are just gonna start calling Rainbow. Mouth wide open, almost like she was trying to mimic a dead fish. Looking to the almost non-Germans. You know they were forced into this, having to act like they cared about their fatherland, or whatever they want to call it now. The other two were looking happy as ever. Well, besides the one that was talking what you could presume was British, but not make sure, because you have never been to Britain. But you knew this was only the beginning of a long war. A war that would be costly, and lives will be lost to fight for what the Empire once believed in. Unity under imperialism. Rights of the United States that were used for the Emperor. Then, the lawmaking body separated into 4, not 3. Looking around at the weapons scattered around by the Germans. Still remembering that you have the MP40 in your hands, you let go of it. Hit for the cyanide pony to just grab onto it. This is gonna be long. And I have to be able to sit. I have to do all that work. You are not looking forward to rearming the Empire, which, looking at the pony's technology, they have not advanced to what you could say was the industry age, being manufactured on a conveyor belt, meaning they do not have guns, only having to make you use the weapons that the Germans brought. You are not liking this one bit. May the Dimension God have mercy on me, you say to yourself.